handle with care.
Crash.
Can we see down in there? Here, do this. Yep, not much there. It don't look like they use stainless wire to weld it though, which is odd. Mandrel bent because it's still got oil inside of it, so they put a mandrel in it to bend it, so that's nice. Oh, here's the tip. I guess this is the hardware. There's instructions. Those don't look like stainless clamps, but they might be. Hanger. Another hanger, or another clamp. Another clamp. Another clamp. Sticker. And instructions. We got oil from the mandrel bending all over everything.
Second most important part.
BRP.
Put the other one in it.
Almost, yeah. Yep. Thank you for purchasing MBRP. Waives liability claims. Never work on a hot exhaust. Stainless steel, nickel, chromium. Okay, it's fine. Please read before starting. All components are present. Do we got 3 pipes out there? Yeah. And the tip. Yeah, we got all that. We got that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 clamps.
4 clamps.
Okay. So I think we got everything. We got the tip. Like she said, the tip's the most important thing. Let's see here. Alright. Removal of stock exhaust. Apply they said penetrating lubricant right there. Alright. Apply penetrating lubricant liberally to all fasteners, hangers, and rubber. Oh, they said rubber. Insulators. Loosen the clamp behind the factory resonator. I guess that's the first one, because I think the first resonator stays on. Remove the nuts from the stock hanger clamp. Figure 2, so that's that.
Yeah, the second resonator is all at the back.
Yeah, well, I think there's 3 resonators underneath there. Install the extension pipe to the vehicle using the 3-inch clamp. So here's what this is where we have to cut something. The one with the little jog in it, that long one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have a crew cab short box. So I have to cut, I think, 16.25 inches. Yeah, because I don't have a long box, so I think I got this one. Crew cab short box.
And there's only the 2 bed sizes?
Well, there's 4 different options here, but I think, because I think the super cab doesn't have like the you know, like the full door in the back. Alright, so it looks like I'm going to have to take 16.25 inches off that. Well, we'll wait and do that. The extension pipe may not need to be cut. I think mine will have to be, so anyway. Alright, Well, the first thing is to take off the old one, so we'll do that first. I'm underneath the truck here with the instructions. I got a clamp on them so they don't blow away because it's windy, but it says apply penetrating lubricant liberally to all exhaust fasteners, hangers, and insulators, and loosen clamp behind the factory resonator. So I got the transfer case up here. There's the drive shaft. And I'm guessing they say this is the factory resonator because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections that possibly are resonators. I don't know if this is the muffler and that's the resonator, this is a resonator. So I'm not sure what they're talking about. So I'm guessing that's the factory resonator they're talking about because there's no, it's not very clear in here. It says loosen the clamp behind the factory resonator. Refer to figure 1. And so when I'm referring to figure 1, I look underneath the truck here and I see nothing that looks like the back of this in the photo, because in the photo it shows a round pipe with a clamp on it, and it's about an 18-inch section of pipe in the photo. Well, that's oblong and this is round, but the section of pipe behind here is only about 3 inches long. So the photos don't match what's underneath my truck. So I'm guessing that they're talking about this clamp right here. So we'll just undo this one. So I'm going to start spraying with my liquid wrench. Anyway, if you watch a YouTube channel called Project Farm, he reviewed all these different penetrating oils, and this one's the best bang for the buck, liquid wrench penetrating oil. This is a 15 millimeter. Let's loosen it. Loose. Loose. Okay. Remove the nuts from the stock hanger clamp. Refer to figure 2. Okay.
It's on the frame up there.
So I'm guessing it's this right here. There's a hanger clamp right here in front of this muffler resonator, and that is a 10 millimeter. Lefty loosey. Okay, here we go. Well, the good thing is it's a new truck, so these fasteners on are rusted together. My shaky Parkinson's ridden cameraman is Sonic 5802. He bought my Tundra from me. He really doesn't have Parkinson's. He's just nervous about being a famous YouTube star, so he's a little shaky. I offered him a marijuana gummy bear, but he refused. I'm just joking, I don't have any left. So this, it's kind of weird, but this hanger is fastened to this frame with like captured, they're not captured nuts, they're like nut clips, which seems a little cheesy, but oh well. At least they're galvanized, the hardware, that's nice. Remove the hangers from the rubber insulator and remove the exhaust from the vehicle. I'll just do it, I guess, when I get it out. I guess that's what they meant. So we're upside down, that's the transfer case. I loosened up this clamp, and the factory bracket which was here, went into this rubber bushing. So I removed this, and then up above this giant muffler resonator, there's something else I think I got to pull out, and then there's one back point where the other one was, Sean. It's kind of behind that bulge.
Yeah, it's. You see this part here? That's connected to the bottom of it, and it just runs right up, goes through a rubber grommet, and then that's attached to a clamp that connects to the main, to the frame. Just do it by hand.
Yeah, okay, so let's try to slide this out. It's working.
Yeah, there's a. Maybe it just slides out the front of the grommet hole. It's kind of different.
Yeah. Well, this is.
Well, and then there's a whole other. There's another mount up there.
Yeah, I know.
Did you get that one on your?
I'm thinking it might be easier just to unclamp this from here. Find this. I'm gonna take that clamp off. So right at the front of the leaf springs, there's a hanger and a clamp, and it says just to pull it away from the rubber, but I think it's going to be easier to physically remove the clamp from the exhaust. So look what Ford did. They have a piece of paper on an exhaust pipe that's all charred and burnt. Is that a fire hazard? Come on, Ford. Do better. Alright, let's see what size this is. This is 13.
Play back what I'm looking at here. Pulling the whole thing back?
Huh? Well, it moved a little. I can see it moving a little bit.
Oh, most of the area clear.
Yay! It's like I gave fucking birth.
Yeah. There's also a cable or something across the top of the rear end that this wants to rest on.
I might have to take the spare tire off and this shield, or just cut it. Yeah, I vote Sawzall. What's your vote? Right fucking here. Sawzall that bitch.
Can if you want. I guess if you needed to reuse it, you could have somebody.
Well, I could just clamp it. Well, I can't snake this long section over the axle. We twisted it and tried to get around it. So I'm just gonna cut it with my Sawzall on a flat spot. That way if I need to butt joint it with a clamp, I can. I just don't know if my Sawzall blade's long enough to get through this pipe, but we'll see. Can you? Yeah, push that way. was an ugly cut. I'll have to clean that up with my chop saw if I need to get that back on. Alright. That piece is gone, and Sean will pull the rest of it out. The pipe, here's the little reference here. This is the front of the differential. And sort of above here, there's this clamp. And I just removed the clamp and the two nuts holding that pipe on. They wanted you to slide this out, these rubber pieces out in the instructions, but that's a real pain in the ass. I got this muffler just mocked in place. It's not clamped or anything, it's just dangling here, right? And so the only resonator that's left is this big one up front. The little one's gone, everything else is gone. So before I cut this pipe, I just want to kind of measure how much I'm going to need, just to make sure their measurements are close. So I'm going to need, you know, about 27 inches. So, okay, 27 to there. So let's see how much I got left. 19 inches left, and that thing's gonna have to slide back. So if I cut off 16, I still got more room to cut if I need to. 16.25 inches is what I need to cut. So let's go inside. I'll take this piece and we'll go into the chop saw and we'll take 16.25 inches off this pipe.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the pipe out of the kit that we're cutting. If you can kind of look to see the shape of it. It adapts the 3-inch or whatever size this is. It's 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3-inch. So adapts the 3-inch Ford exhaust, and then this is where it starts into the 4-inch stuff. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 16.25 inches off this because I got a short box crew cab. So that's 16.25. Let's cut this turd. All right, I think we're ready to install.
Okay.
All right, so all right, you can start recording again, or were you the whole time?
I was the whole time. The tantrum should get a lot of positive reviews.
Well, I think I might have spoke a little out of turn because I think this is the same size as the other clamps. It's a 15. So my apologies to the MBRP engineer for throwing a tantrum because it is the same size as the Ford. Sorry, MBRP engineer. The next time, degrease the inside of your fucking pipes from the mandrel bending. And also, don't sell products that you don't have in your warehouse and make me wait a month and a half to get it after you charge my credit card. Is that a good enough tantrum, you think?
It might be.
Okay. Okay. So, that's on there snug. Let's go to the instruction manual again. Got the extension pipe cut the way they told me. Page 3. Install the hang tight hanger onto a 4-inch bain clamp using the procedure shown. Hang the hang tight hanger in the factory rubber insulator. Holy shit. Maybe that's that one that we had to take off in the beginning. Is this the hang tight hanger?
Well, I think that's the one that, yeah, the one you just picked up is the one that came with your new stuff.
Yeah.
So I suspect that's what they want you to use.
Alright. Patent pending.
Oh, so that hole, somehow the clamp. Oh.
Yeah.
I bet you got to feed the clamp through that hole.
Yeah.
Patent pending hole.
Yeah. Let me look at these instructions again. Keyhole. Insert stud through keyhole in hanger bracket. Alright, so that's the stud. Insert stud through keyhole in hanger bracket. So this is a little
interesting.
Yeah, to say the least. Maybe it goes like that. Yeah, okay. But the terminology that they're using here is a little shaky, in my opinion.
Just like the cameraman.
Yeah. So it says install. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this has to go on here. So it says install it through the stud, but to me that's the stud end. You know, I would say, you know, if I was rewriting these instructions, I would say insert the bracket between the stud and the nut, the nut stud, something like that. It'd make more sense to me, at least.
If I had $1 for every time I heard that.
Alright, so I'm thinking that this is the way they want it. Can you guys see that? Can you see that on the thing?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So I think that's the way they want it. So we'll see. Sean's got me the rubber piece.
Never had to reuse the rubber.
Oh. You know, on YouTube now they ask you, is this intended for kids? And you can click yes or no. I might have to click no on this one. It's all in one deal, and it goes like that. I'm gonna slide this, try to slide this in here. Those might have to come out of there. Okay.
Don't you need a clamp on this end?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So let's pull it back out. Right in front of this muffler, there's this bain clamp that clamps to this 4-inch pipe, and you have to wedge this bracket that came in the kit into the frame rail rubber isolator in this bracket. So that's how it looks like. It's sandwiched in right there. Hopefully you guys can see how that looks. Okay. And I guess I'll rotate this muffler to where you can actually see the MBRP clearly. Well, what I'm going to do is, I got all this stuff loose, but this MBRP logo is here, so I'm going to try to rotate it. See, I should have done this beforehand. That's what I should have done. There you go. Does that look about right? Can you see the MBRP?
I don't know about right. You probably can.
Yeah, I think that's pretty close. That way when someone looks up underneath here, they can,
you can tell.
You can get brand recognition, right? MBRP can see me a big fat check for rotating that. Alright guys? And also send me about 50 bucks back for using my money for a month and a half without sending me my merchandise. So anyway, I contacted their customer service line. You know, they make like a help ticket every time you like ask them a question. I had like 10 help tickets, I think, by the time it was all over, asking them where my shit was. And the first person's like, well, it's a COVID warehouse problem. And the person said, and then the second person's like, well, we just don't have them in stock and they're going to come back in the warehouse pretty soon. It's like, you know, every person was just making up shit. You know, basically they just didn't have them. And they sold them without having them in stock, and they were waiting for their whoever's producing them for them to get their shit together. Okay, well, I'm not gonna tighten that down all the way. I'm just snugging it. So I guess that one's there. So I guess the next step, we'll leave this loose and then put on that last piece of pipe. So,
yeah, so we need a clamp for that.
For this clamp over it. Alright, so that goes in there. And then that goes in there somehow, right?
Yeah, except, well, put your clamp on there.
Well, it is. It's all the way up the other way. Huh. Is it through yet?
Yeah,
there
just now.
Okay. Alright. Okay, so there's the spare tire right there, and then it has this connection, but the issue is this pipe, this MBRP pipe, has got this bracket welded on there, and this hanger has to go through the factory hanger. So to get this to go through here and over the axle pipe is sort of a, what do you call it, a clusterfuck?
Well, no, because it ultimately went in.
Balancing act.
Yeah, balancing
precision. Act. Anyway, it has to go in there at the same time and at a very specific angle. So it's a little bit of a pain, but it does wiggle in there. So there's a little bit of adjustment here to tighten this down, and I thought the factory pipe hung down a little low, so I turned it just a little bit so it would come up closer to the truck. And then when you do that, there's only about a ½ inch clearance between this hanger and the heat shield from the rear spare tire. No, the funny thing is, this clamp is tight as hell in that center section. You see that clamp, how the center section of these clamps work? Uh-huh. Like they're supposed to like touch each other, and it's not. It's like this clamp is, the center of it's just a little small, and that's tight as hell, so I don't know. Alright, I'm going to tighten down the rest of these. Switch to the general and save some time. Or save some money, or save some time. You know, Shaq is kind of like their spokesman, you know?
Yeah.
And I always thought he was kind of a dumb, goony, you know, kind of a goofball kind of person, but
works well with his image, but he's very business savvy.
He's pretty smart, and he's very witty. You know, you gotta really listen to what he's saying. He's very witty. I like him.
He's got.
Right, that's on there. So you like Shaq too? See,
yeah, I think he learned a little something from Michael Jordan as far as making money and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I think I could eat and drink a few beers with that guy. Not hitting anything? What's that rattling?
Well, now you're touching the heat shield back here.
Am I?
Yeah. Yeah, you moved.
I moved it too far?
You
All
pushed
right.
it towards me like half an inch, or apparently.
Okay.
Was that just from tightening it, or were you actually trying to?
No, I wasn't. Let's take this one loose. It's just kind of weird how that happened. Damn, I almost dropped it on my head. Alright, so let's here twist that thing and see if it can clear.
Like that?
Yeah.
There, now see there you got your gap back.
So the tip takes an Allen, an 8. Try the after. I thought this would be helpful. This is the factory exhaust pieces that I had to take off of my 2020 7.3. So this is the factory stuff. The clamp there, clamp there. There's hangers there that had to pop out of the rubber dampeners, but I actually took the bracket off. And then I just actually unbolted this and left the rest of it in the truck. The instruction says just to yank it through the rubber, but it's tough, you know. And anyway, and that's the tailpipe. I took the chrome tip off of it, but So this is the part of the factory exhaust system that has to be removed. I thought that might help somebody. Okay, well this is the after wrap-up of the MBRP stainless steel bolt-on 4-inch exhaust system in my 2020 Super Duty with the 6-point whatever foot box crew cab. Anyway, how long did it take us? About 2.5 hours?
Does this make me Al Borland?
Yeah. So I think it took us about 2.5 hours, the two of us, to put it on. I would say about an hour and 45 minutes of that is getting the old shit off, you know. And you can't get it off in one piece. I had to cut it with a Sawzall. I mean, someone might be able to, but we couldn't figure it out. It's like a Jenga set in there, so.
Well, I think you were right if you took the spare tire off.
Spare tire off, yeah, it could be.
And
so anyway.
Heat shield.
So anyway, crawling around underneath the truck for a couple hours, you know, and as you can see, we're both sweating our asses off trying to, but you know, we're both old fat guys, but anyway. Normal person could do it in the driveway in probably 2.5, 3 hours by themselves if, you know, they're smarter than me, but that's what it took. So I'll wrap it up for now, and thanks for watching.